what's up, YouTubers, Vicers, Internet, whoever. One quick Cytokine 16 here for another episode of Dunce. And today, or at least the next couple of videos, I'll be presenting some series that I watched over the last couple of days here on the weekend that I got on my order like a week ago. So I'll get right on to that. The first one, and it was the first, and I watched this a couple nights ago, and I was gonna do a video, but then I was like, nah. I stayed up really a lot later than I usually do, so I went ahead and went to bed. But it's Sekirei Pure Engagement, and I'll go ahead and actually, oh no, never mind. Actually, and this is the limited edition box, so it fits seasons 1 and 2. Season 1, I only had the Blu-ray, or I mean the DVD. That's why it's bigger, and that's why the second season is DVD Blu-ray combo. So that's why it's bigger. But in the place of where season 1 went was this box, and I thought it was just an insert, but no, it's got design all around it, so I will be keeping it. If it was just an insert, I would have thrown it away, but it's actually got stuff on it, so it'll just kind of sit around. But I mean, it's much like the it's got some nice box art on it and everything, but like it, much like the Sorano Toshimono though, I just kind of wish like the wrapping was a bit more contained on the box instead of, at risk of getting caught on something and then tearing or, whatever. So I am afraid of that. But I'll go ahead and shake this out and show you. It's actually pretty heavy because it's got 5 discs in here, but here's the cover and here's the back. I was surprised this box set did not actually on the wrapping have anything on the back, like have the info on the back, like of runtime and length and all that info, which I thought was weird because usually that's on everything, and Funimation's really been kind of going downhill on keeping that info with and on the product, which is I'm actually kind of disappointed in. But you also, it goes ahead and on the inside of the cover it tells you also what the 3 discs for the DVD and the 2 discs of Blu-ray are. But in this first flop is disc 1 and 2 of the DVD, and then disc 3 of the DVD, which contains the OVA and the extras, and then disc 1 and 2 of the Blu-ray with 1 through 9 on disc 1, and then 10 through 13 and the OVA and the extras on the other disc. And it's got a little cover dealie behind that disc as well. So that is what that is. I think it's kind of weird that that in this one, and actually in the first season too, they included the OVA as part of in the extras menu. So once you get done with the series, you have to go back to the main menu, or at least get the pop-up menu and go to the extras, and then from there, like, choose to watch the OVA. You can't just watch it all through, which kind of sucks, but hey, whatever. But I'll get right into it. Sub versus dub. Basically, I don't really have any different thoughts compared to when I talked about the first season. So for those of you who are just going to be watching this on YouTube, I'll try to figure out how to do annotations, and I'll try to have them pop up. If not, you can check. I'll include the link to that Dunce Cap review in the info section below the video. And for you Vicers, I'll go ahead and actually somewhere in the blog I will have a link to that blog as well, so you can check out my thoughts on that, because it also has a guest. So I know a lot of you guys are used to me not having a guest now, but that one, when I made that, I did have a guest. So that's, yeah, I mean, sub versus dub, my opinions haven't really changed, although I did, with watching this second season, it did seem like some of the voice actors changed, and I thought they did, but I just did a little bit of research online, and I guess they didn't. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just been a while since I watched the dub, but I could have swore I was thinking like just the other, like, I don't know, a couple months ago for some reason I went ahead and marathon the first season again just for the hell of it. But maybe I didn't, and I'm just really confused, which could happen. Could happen. I watch a lot of things, so I could have been confused. But like I say, I still stand with it's not a bad dub. I actually thought it was pretty good. But I mean, the sub is also really good. And please ignore all the noise that's you guys can probably hear us because it's storming outside. So yeah. So let's see. That's that. The animation. I actually was able to watch the first Blu-ray disc on a in the living room, which is of course a 1080p TV hooked up to a Blu-ray player with an HDMI cable. So I was able to get the full experience, and actually I have to say that I don't really think Blu-ray actually does this series much good exactly. I mean, the second Pure Engagement was made in 2010, so I don't know if it's still, if this was a standard, if this was a SD remaster or if it's a HD native. I'm not sure. But it didn't. I mean, this is a series where like the detail isn't there so much that the Blu-ray is really needed to make things more refined and for an HD upscale to do it. So it just kind of, it was there. I mean, nothing really a whole lot special to it if it was an upscale. So I'd say, I mean, if you wanted to go cheaper and get the DVD version, or no, it's a DVD Blu-ray combo, so so there's just one thing. You can't go wrong with watching either. I, of course, did not watch the DVD because if I get a Blu-ray version, I'm going to watch the Blu-ray because that's primarily just what I'm going to watch. So, yeah, I would assume that there really isn't much of a difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray besides maybe how much of the screen gets taken up. So, that's that. Let's see. The story for for the second season is basically then Minato has 4 Sekirei, and so now the Sekirei plan is moving on bit by bit to where now it's actually kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of the game master, like putting challenges out there to all the Ashikabi and Sekirei that, hey, there's still a couple of unwinged Sekirei out there, you need to go and do this, or hey, this is going to happen, so if all y'all want, a special prize or something, then you need to go do this. And so many challenges for Minato and the gang as the series goes, but Minato does get 2 more Sekirei, so his collection is up to 6. By the end of the series, by the end of the second season. So he's got a pretty good group, and I mean then you get a bit better understanding also of what's going on in the Sekirei plan, kind of like what the Discipline Squad was, the origins of the Sekirei plan, and kind of what, but then also a number of other mysteries are actually revealed. So definitely kind of trying to figure out, hey, what's exactly going to go on here. But I mean, all in all, when it gets to the end of the 13th episode, it's got an ending. It's there, boom. So, nothing. I mean, it's an ending. Obviously, since I'll get to that later. It's an ending, but it's not like one of those. It's not a cut and dry ending, and it's not a huge wide open ending. Though obviously, it is a wide open ending. And then the OVA, it's exactly what you would think of in an OVA. Just a bunch of fan service, just bouncing boobs everywhere. And I guess to go back to the story, I mean, I still stand firm in that the story does get picked up better in the second season than it does in the first season. And while there still is a lot of there is a lot of fan service still in the second season, but I still feel like even if it's a small amount, that the fan service was toned down a bit from the first season, and that a bit more of the story was actually brought up. But that's my feelings. I know Funimation doesn't put Sekirei out there as a story. It purely puts it out there for fan service, and because that's basically who's gonna buy it. Because it's not a altogether, and the main point is a story. It's not exactly, so the people who are into story aren't exactly going to buy it. It's going to be more people, a lot like me, who just want to watch the fan service. But I enjoy both sides, so hey, whatever. So that's that. Characters, not really much for new. I mean, there are some new characters, but they're introduced, but they're minor. You don't really see them or talk to them too much. You do get to see more of Minato's sister and her Sekirei. You get to see a bit more of Minato's mother. Find out a little bit more about Uzume. A little bit, and more about Homura, and also more about Kazehana. So you get to find out a bit more about them as well, and along with a couple of members of the disciplinary squad and such. So you find out a little bit more about characters who have already been introduced, primarily the characters that are introduced now aren't exactly major players. They're still minor characters that just cause problems. So that's kind of that. Not a whole lot of different stuff going on for that thing. And then the last topic is the anime versus manga. I will have to apologize. The manga is still ongoing. There are, I guess, currently 14 volumes out in Japan now. It has been running since 2004. And I actually went ahead and read like another 10 chapters about a month ago, but that still has only gotten me to basically where it'd be the beginning of the second season. Now I have noticed already that there are a number of points that happen in the second season that have already happened in the manga, and so there's some flip-flopping that I have noticed already, but overall not too bad. Obviously there's still more story in the manga, but I'm definitely enjoying the manga. It's not licensed, so I have to read scans, but I am enjoying reading the manga because it's interesting, and there's a whole lot more going on here than what obviously meets the eye, and so I really want to get that ramped up and find out more and enjoy it. And so that's why I'm reading the manga. And for those of you who are fans of the Sekirei franchise, I suggest doing the same. That's kind of what I got. I mean, it's one of my most enjoyed action comedy romantic harems, because it does have that story and it has the action on top of the comedy and the though rare actual romantic bits. It's not like other romantic harems, where there are deeper moments, like in Mabaraho or like in Nejima, and shows like that, yeah. So I mean, they're not like deeply emotional thing. I mean, it's kind of, but not really. So, but I do enjoy that, that there is story, and so for me personally, I go ahead and I do give Sekirei overall a 4 out of 5 just because of how much is there and how much I enjoy it. So to kind of sum it up real quick here, sub versus dub, can't really go wrong with either. I mean, I really have no problem on either side of that. I told you the story. You can find out about, like, say, I'll include a link so you find out all about my thoughts on the first season. As far as all the topics that I've covered just for the first season. So, and then you got the animation, fine. Story, obviously, I enjoy. Wish there was more of, though. Characters I still enjoy, because even though it is the typical variety of harem characters, it's still enjoyable, especially because also Minato is not your worthless, hapless harem lead, even though he is dull on the romance understanding side, but he is actually smart. He is actually a smart guy. You actually learn that in this second season a little bit. So that's also something interesting. So that and then the anime versus manga. Like I say, you're gonna have your differences, but I haven't really seen things go too astray. Besides just less of the story, ramped up fan service to sell, and things like that. So I'm trying to keep I tried to keep this down a little shorter, but that's kind of what I got for this. So hey, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Like I say, my name's SaudiFan16. You can find that on YouTube or on AnimeVice, or you can find me on Twitter at BILDO_88. And so hey, that's my time. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Favorite, share it. I don't care what you guys do, but hey, if you enjoy it, share it with your friends. Whatever. Yeah. So hey, that's my time. I'm not gonna keep y'all. Peace.